Hello, Capricorn. Welcome and welcome back. How you doing? I hope everybody's having a beautiful Friday today. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. But yes, let's see what's going on in your energy. If you haven't been with me before, hello. My name is Priscilla. I'm a psychic medium, tarot reader, healer, empath, and I also have the gift of telekinesis. If you haven't seen it or anything, I'm going to try to give you a demonstration somewhere in the reading, so just hang in there. If I happen to forget or my time, goes over or whatever, I will just go back to the last reading or whatever. But yeah, the sun is I have a couple of readings that I channeled in before when I was before I started the reading and everything. I feel like somebody here is going through some kind of judgment or maybe some kind of lawsuit or something like that, or some kind of paperwork that they need to get in, or maybe I don't know, waiting, or maybe some kind of anxiety, or you can't sleep at night about waiting about some kind of paperwork, maybe some kind of judgment, maybe somebody got arrested, something like that, something to do with a fairness, all right, judgment time, or justice, I should say. I'm sorry. Justice is what I wanted to say. So fairness, maybe something's delayed in your paperwork or something like that. Maybe insurance papers or something. Also, but for some of you, you're enlightened about something. You're healing also about with something. Maybe something didn't come in. Maybe you're waiting for some kind of insurance, or maybe something to do. I don't know, healing your body. But yeah, this keeps coming up. Okay, so somebody got left out in the cold here. All right. Maybe some resources ran out or something like that. But the test of financial strength is here. Some kind of loss happened to you guys or something. But there was, some kind of frustration, some kind of troubles with money. Okay, financial tension that keeps on popping up. I started doing the reading, and then I just like stopped. I was like 5 minutes into the reading, and just I was like, you know what, I wasn't feeling it. So I had to start over. So here we are again, 222 on the clock. You can be seeing 222 everywhere, or your number. Your birthday's is 22nd, but the number 22 is significant, okay? 22 is significant, something to do with the number 4. You can have 4 kids or something like that, 4 grandkids. I don't know, something in that nature. All right, but I'm getting all these kind of messages for you, Capricorn. So let's see what's going on in your energy right now. All right, so what's influence the Capricorn? Helpful, challenging energies for the Capricorn collective. What is going on? Yeah, this feels a lot better. I was not feeling it. Oof. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. Okay, so there's a new opportunity, and it's something to do with, some kind of unhealthy involvement here. Some kind of addiction, slavery, or something like that, or some kind of like greed, the devil, obsession, okay, excessive dependence, obsessed. I don't know. Maybe somebody's up, like something to do with the a salary increase or something like that. But there's some kind of like unhealthy attachment, involved with it. You know what I mean? Hmm. And you can be like, I don't care. You see, justice keeps on popping up for me. Okay, for you. Which is you're looking for some kind of right decision to make or something like that, or some kind of fairness, accountability. All right, accountability of some sort, whether this be at work or something, or in your family, something to do with that. Yeah, but for some of you, you want just a fresh, clean start. This is what, for some of you, you got a salary increase, maybe a new apartment or something like that, too. I got a key before, you know. I feel like a key to a new place, or you're looking for a new place. I heard about a fire, something to do with a fire. I don't know. You know, for some of you, you have a boat, you know, a broken heart. A broken heart also is what I'm getting, a Three of Swords. Maybe, you know, for some of you, you like to go fishing, you sail. I'm hearing like a Navy, something with Marines, but the Navy, maybe somebody in or around you is in the Navy or something like that, or some kind of services, or in the Marine, you know, in the service. Somebody got brokenhearted. I don't know. I feel like, all right, what's past issues here? What's the basis of the situation? What is the past issues? Ace of Wands, you know, new ideas, a new start, a career. Maybe you planning on moving or something like that. Maybe, you know, the energies around you, you just don't want to be around anymore. And you're looking for a new start, a new job, a new career, a new place, a new neighborhood, just a whole brand new start, a new person maybe. But something definitely is you're inventing something. Something to do with somebody financially. Yeah, the Death card is your immediate past. What's behind you? All right, what's behind you? It's rebirth, you know, transformation, a change of some sort, a new cycle. All right, so that's immediate behind you. Like something, maybe somebody, you know, passed on, or my condolences if they did, but something to do with, I don't know, I just heard of inheritance, maybe somebody evil, maybe something to do with money or something like that. Maybe somebody was greedy, but something just immediately changed. It could be a job, you know, a new start for some of you. You know, you're pregnant. Maybe for some of you, you're inventing something. You're inspired by something that inspired you to do something. For some of you, you might be wanting to leave your job. All right. Your crowning thoughts right now is regret. Somebody here is breaking up, regret, loss. Again, with the you know what I got with the heart here. It's a little heartbreak. It's a little pink. You know, pink is significant as well. Baby girl, you know, baby girl is significant. I heard before too something about a broken arm or a broken leg or maybe a broken bone or something like that to do with a child. I don't know. Maybe you have a grandchild or a child that broke a bone or somebody in your energy. But that crowning thoughts right now regarding the situation is regret. Somebody is, you know, fear of separation, feeling abandoned. Maybe this is divorce. But this is what grounds you, betrayal and love. And that's why this whole thing, you know, with the death card is right behind you. Something to do with a rebirth, you know, a change, a big change, a dawn of a new era, you know what I mean? A transformation, some kind of empowerment, liberation of some sort. Somebody's in regret. Like somebody's mad, maybe because somebody moved on or something. I'm getting that too. Like somebody's mad that somebody moved on. You know, look at there it is. Emperor. I thought it was the Justice, but the Emperor. This is your immediate future. What's about to happen? You being in power, you being a boss, being in control. You know, having ambition, having security. You know, putting shit in order right now. You know, being motivated to be successful and being stable and ruling your own shit. You can be, you know, thinking about being a landlord or something like that, a landowner. But this is get a promotion in your job. This is your immediate future. What's about to happen? So this can be you getting a promotion, you know, in your career, or getting a raise of some sort, or new, you know, new growth. Handling your business 10 toes down here, your immediate future. This is you being the emperor. You can be a landlord, I don't know, I just heard head of security or something like that, but controlling. You're controlling things here. This is your future. All right, your fears. What are the fears for? Fears are 8, maybe this job. 8 of your skill, 8 of Pentacles. I feel like, whatever you're fearing or whatever here, it's about your job. Maybe, regretting leaving your job, or maybe feeling sad about something, about abandoning ship or some sort. You can be, fear of your job, your savings, your achievement, like, losing your achievements or whatever you did. But this is all a new start here. All right. And how others see you right now is probably being disconnected and being silent and being separated and being in resent, introverted. Maybe being restless right now because 4 of Cups came into you, like, how others are seeing you right now. Silence speaks volume, though, not for nothing. If you're pissed off and 111 on the clock, but maybe you came to some kind of realization about something too, and that's why silence speaks. I keep on hearing silence speaks volume. All right, I have to go around shouting everything and letting everybody read me like a book. No, sometimes you gotta be quiet, move in silence, because this is what the influence is, the devil here. The challenge. This is what challenging you now. This can be people at work too. Maybe they're just jealous of your thoughts or your ideas or something, or it doesn't have to be at work. This can be with family as well, I feel like. All right. What you really wish for right now is justice. There it is. There's the card. What you really wish for, your hopes. All right. Justice. Like I said at the beginning, this card keeps popping up for you. All right. So Capricorn, I know that you're waiting for some kind of justice to come in and you can't sleep at night about this whole thing, whatever this is, whether it's insurance, an inheritance, paperwork, a bank, whatever, monies, something to do with, maybe school or something to do with that. I don't know, but I know you're waiting for some kind of justice to come in. This is what you really wish for, some kind of fairness, somebody to make the right decision, and take accountability, of course, balance. That's what you want, is balance. All right. The number 11 keeps popping up in my head. So you can be seeing 1111 or something like that. Your birthday could be January 11th. But the number 11 is significant. You can have an 11-year-old relationship or 11-year-old child, 11 years in this relationship, 11 years in this months in this job, or 11 years in a job, or something to do with the number 11. But yeah, judgment is here. All right, judgment is here. There it is. This is the outcome. The answer to your question. Your question is judgment. All right, the outcome, judgment. There it is. So will you get, your day or whatever in court, like they say, your day? Yeah, love, yeah. Judgment, the awakening. So, this is going to be the end of the situation. All right, whatever this is, it's going to be judged. All right. It's going to be important changes. There's going to be judgment called here, justice and judgment. That's it. This is what I was telling you in the beginning of this is what I, was hearing, and this is what I channeled in for you. All right. So whatever that you're, exhale and let it go. Let go of the past, because judgment is here. Okay. Breaking through. There's going to be some kind of revival of some sort. Whatever's keeping you up at night here, whatever, fairness, whatever judgment, justice that you want, well, the end of the situation is here. That's the outcome. All right. That's the outcome. Let's pick up some oracles here and see what they have to say. Yeah, love triangle. Love forever. Some kind of forever love. Maybe there's somebody that you've been dealing with. There's only like one person for you. It's for a forever love. I don't know. Maybe for some of you, not everybody, of course, because everybody's on a different timeline. We all live different lives. But for some of you, you might be moving in together, something like that. I saw new couples moving in together, maybe getting engaged, going to the justice of the peace. Maybe you're getting your license or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you just had a baby. Okay. What else do you got to tell me for Capricorn? Oh, God. Yeah, sorceress. Wake up and be aware of how truly powerful you really are. All right? This is what crowns you. What's up with the five of voodoo doll? All right, dealing with bullies, bad intentions, hurting others. Again, this is what I'm feeling with this, this idiot here, the devil. Somebody's just, in your energy, just, I don't know, just oppressive and just dealing with bullies and hurting others. This is what I feel. This is on your third eye. All right. So somebody's, probably jealous or whatever because you're intelligent, you're educated, probably. They're, jealous of your diligence and what you do for work and how enthusiasm you show up and stuff and, how you improve and how you make people improve or something like that. You can be a catalyst to somebody right now or people around you. All right. What else? What's the communication? And what's this devil? Sudden changes. Yeah, new era. That's right. Sudden changes. Like I said before, there's a change that's going to happen right here. Maybe something already, with the change, the death card. This is new era. It's a new era, guys. That's it. Something new is about to happen. With judgment here, justice, new era, honey. The end of a situation. So it's going to be a new era, the end of the situation, judgment. That's the outcome. It's showing up here with community in your throat chakra. So somebody's going to be communicating with you about this. What? Whoa. What is that? Oh, I got to go and see about this. Sounds like a huge woodpecker or something. Hold on. That was the weirdest things, guys. I don't know. It sounded like a huge jackhammer inside of my house and nothing was there. So I don't know. I keep on getting just interrupted with this reading. It took me forever to get here. I feel like, something's being delayed in your energy big time. Again, with the justice, you're waiting for some kind of paperwork or something, the right decision to be made. It's coming now. It's coming. Somebody, it says sexy ghost here in your heart chakra, disappearing act, ghosting to be chased. All right, ghosting to be chased. Freaky sessions. Somebody's having freaky sessions here. Maybe in your gut you feel like this. The black rose, stop the bleeding. For some of you, you're going to be stopping the bleeding. And I feel like, maybe this can be in your relationship, like they want you to make up or something. I'm getting that. But I'm also getting to stop the bleeding as far as financially. Something to do with financially. Stop the bleeding. Don't talk about it, says here. I don't know. Give me one more of these. One more. Thank you. We got third party to be continued. Okay, third party. I don't know who needed to hear this, but maybe heartbreak here, transformation, regret, the heartbreak came out before. Maybe this is somebody that you loved forever, you've been in a long-term relationship with. I don't know. But Let's check to see what this is all about. Let me clarify these with more tarot here. Mm, mm. Okay, what's Spirit? What is this regret here and the devil? What's this? Yeah, heartbreak. Three of swords. Just like I just said, third party to be continued. Again, this is clarifying what I just the regret and all that. Yeah, third party. There's some kind of heartbreak here for somebody. Again, there's some kind of sorrow, some kind of emotional pain, some heart. This can be somebody having heart problems. This can be some kind of loss, but betrayal, separation. But this is definitely, I picked it up twice here, okay? And especially with the little broken heart there. Third, yeah, something to do with that. So it says wake up and be aware of how truly powerful you really are. So you're going through this right here. Do you want me to leave that like this? All right, turn it upside down. All right, so they want me to leave it, in reverse. So you got resilience here, nine in reverse. Okay. I keep on getting this for you though. Resilience, something that you've been through, something you've been through already. All right. Been through a lot. I got this already again. I when I was, channeling your, something that you've been through it. You're waiting for something. For some of you, you're giving up. There's a big struggle. You feel like, lack of trust. You're struggling. You don't trust nobody right now. You're dealing with bullies here with bad intentions, hurting others. You're refusing to compromise with these people, with these bullies. You don't trust them. Looking at them, sideways. Like, I've been through it. You better turn around before, F around and, find out. That's how I feel. Like, this is your energy right now. You're dealing with bullies and you're just tired of it. You know, you're overwhelmed and you just don't want to deal with it anymore. I feel like, maybe you're being paranoid right now. You're overwhelmed with it. Maybe you're giving up. You're refusing to compromise. Yeah, that's right. King of Wands. You can be dealing with a fire sign. Sagittarius, Leo, Scorpio. But this is King of Wands, somebody who is protective, born leader, a visionary, and then you're dealing with some King of Swords. Somebody in authority. Mental clarity, somebody who's in justice, and then we got the Page of Swords. I don't know, something to do with somebody who's young. This can be somebody who's young. Somebody's talking to somebody who's very young, witty and chatty or something like that. So it's like a father and son kind of thing going on here. And then somebody's finding a direction. Three of Wands. Preparing for something. This is a new opportunity. Taking a chance. This is a new opportunity. Looking forward, preparing for something, waiting for something to come in. You're finding direction. This is a new opportunity that you're looking for here. Taking a chance with it too. Taking a, advancement, going to the next, phrase. Like, you're preparing now. Okay. Now you're waiting for you're waiting for it to come in. Again, you could be dealing with an Aries. We're in Aries season right now, so you can have Aries in your chart as well. But you're looking to stop the bleeding. Yeah, you're looking to do something to, you're planning for something here. You're trying to find direction to do something here. You're trying to find direction to something happens, new something happened here. Maybe with this heartbreak or everything, you're trying to move forward here. You've been through it. But you're continuing with confidence of it. You're going to be looking forward. You're not going to be looking back anymore. Like I say, you can't, if you keep looking in the rearview mirror, you're not going to be able to see what's in front of you. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel here. Like something's going on with that. Yeah, you're working hard. Knight of Pentacles for something here. Knight of Pentacles. Working hard about with something. And like I feel like, with this card it says third part to be continued. I feel like, you're working hard to improve yourself. May 10th is significant. I don't know what that means, but May 10th is significant. All right. But improvements here, patience, something to do with you working hard, looking forward. Maybe you're looking for a new position, a new job, a new, again, new responsibility. I feel like, with determination or whatever, I feel like somebody, they got a raise or something, or somebody probably offered you, another position, or maybe like another company or something like that, or looking at another company. This can be, you being heartbroken about a job, about, your colleagues, or this can be with your personal, your other person. Okay. The 27th is significant, December 27th. January 19th is here. January 15th is also significant. But toxic love, yeah, look. So this is where the heartbreak, is at. Okay. The Three of Swords, right? Toxic love right underneath it. Okay. So can't, these are addictive patterns. All right. This is pain disguised as passion. Can't live without harmful attachments. Like I said, with the devil here, and I still feel like somebody got an opportunity. Again, with this new opportunity, somebody handed somebody a new opportunity, a new thing, something new, a new start. Maybe somebody inspired something, but two-faced. So it says one thing, does another. Betrayal behind kindness, pretends loyalty. So somebody's in your energy being two-faced. Okay, yeah. Again, right above that is the bullies. Hurtful people. So hurt people hurt people hurt people. You know what I mean? So this is what this is telling me. Hurt people hurt people. So somebody in your energy is two-faced. They're a bully. All right, they have bad intentions, and you just you don't trust them. Straight up, you don't trust them. And you have every right not to trust them, and you shouldn't trust them. All right. Overwhelmed with this crap here. Okay, so false alarm here. All right, exaggerated panic. There's much ado about nothing, unnecessary drama, overreacting to minor events. Okay, this is people around you. And this can be like you being a boss and being like, oh, you know what? You're making a freaking, you're exaggerating the truth. You're making a freaking mountain over a hill over a mountain. You're making a little hill into a mountain. Okay. So this is what I feel like. This is people around you or whatever. And no filter. Okay. No filter. This is the King of Swords, all right? This is somebody who's truthful, who has mental clarity, who's going to tell you the truth, all right? Being honest and telling you the truth. This is somebody who has no hair in their tongue, or, who tells it like it is, who has a blunt, who's blunt, all right? Speaking your truth. This is you. This can be you, your heart chakra. Yeah, this can be you. This is how you really feel. Raw honesty, authentic communication, speaking your truth, having no hair in your tongue, telling people like it is. That's right. King of Swords. And I feel like, for some of you, you're being quiet or whatever, you're being distant, or you might be ghosting people because you just, playing a disappearing act with people because you just don't want to hear it, because you have no filter and you're not going to, stay quiet and stick around just to hear the shit. Something to do with that is what I'm getting. Like, you know what? Shut up. I can't be around this anymore. People making, toxic, all this to do about nothing. All right. Now you're in hustle mode here. All right, new ideas. Okay, curious about new things, inspired about new things. To you're maybe creating something new here. All right, grinding hard, ambitious drive here. All right, about something. You're determined effort to do something. All right, sleep can't wait. They're saying so. Something to do about 12 o'clock. All right, maybe you have a deadline, but 12 o'clock. Maybe something to do at lunchtime. Maybe something happened at lunch or something like that. Okay. But somebody's in hustle mode right now. Somebody's online trying to, staying up late at night. Somebody drinks a lot of coffee here, all right? Or somebody loves coffee. And then it says, look, spiritual ascension, growth, ascension. So you're ascending, higher awareness, next level consciousness. You're elevating yourself, all right? You're stopping the bleeding. Black rose. For some of you, you have black roses in your house. A leather black rose is what I heard. I don't know what that means, but leather black rose, something to do with that. Leather heart, I don't know. You're finding that new direction. You have, foresight now, new opportunities, taking a chance, spiritual growth, yeah, higher awareness, next level, okay, consciousness. Okay, what's this? What's the grounding? What's the grounding so we can wrap this up? Grounding is boundaries. That's right. You're giving the people the hand. Boundaries. You saying no firmly. That's right. You're saying no firmly. Here we are. This is what grounds you. Okay. You're being, reliable. You're being strong-willed here. All right. Enough is enough. You're setting your limits clearly and you're protecting your peace. All right. You're protecting your peace right now. Okay. I'm gonna give you just one of these for the sign of Capricorn spirit. Give me one of these so I can wrap this up. Yeah, I just feel like delays and sloppy. I feel like maybe somebody is messy in your in or around your energy or whatever. Maybe somebody's messy. I don't know. I'm getting that too. Messy. I don't know if that's messy, like, messy, like they're, messy, or if it's physically messy around you or something like that. I'm getting messy. Loud and clear. All right, just give me one of these. Somebody's definitely withholding something too. It can be this paperwork or whatever. STD came out. Okay, STD. Stephen, Tom, David. I don't know if that's so significant, those names. All right. You can be dealing with a Taurus, okay? You can be dealing with the Taurus. You can be, they're probably a little lazy. I'm also getting same-sex, energy here. All right, stubborn, slow-moving, materialistic, and then they're good, they're loyal, they're trustworthy, takes pleasure in beauty, and they're stable. Okay, so this was your reading. I hope it resonated. Don't forget to like, and it keeps me coming back to, and all that good stuff. All right, like, subscribe, share. Love, light, and peace to each and every one of you. Please be kind to one another. Don't be mean, because mean people suck. Okay. Okay. I will see you soon. If I can find my little thingy, there it is. All right. Peace out, guys. I'll see you soon. All right.